So, update. I actually am doing another writers contest for March. 1 second. There we go. I had enough requests of people saying that they wanted me to do more writing contests that I figured I'd give it another try and see if we could keep this streak going, so to speak. So the next prompt is, let me pull up the poster. Write about someone experiencing good luck. How long does their good luck last? Is it magical, fate, karma, or simply just luck? And then write a short story about it. If you're interested, please come grab a form from the upstairs library desk at American Brook Library. All right. So today we're talking about how to get past writer's block. First thing that I want to specify with this is that generally when you're blocked, there is a reason you're blocked. It's not just, oh, I don't want to, or I don't have the time. Sometimes that can be part of it, but that's part of a reason. It's not the whole reason. Sometimes there is just one reason, but generally there's an amalgamation of things. So today we're going to talk about what the issue is and what the cure is. So, first issue, you have gotten out of the habit of writing due to various life stressors. If this is a problem for you, something that you could try to unblock yourself is to write anything. And when I say anything, I mean literally anything. If fan fiction helps you get out of your funk, that's good. If you think you need to write a cute little short story to get out of your funk, do that. If you want to write a scene that is at the climax of the novel that is 300 pages away from where you are currently, do that. Just write something to get you back in the flow of working with writing and improving your writing. Now, the next problem that you might run into is finding that you don't have inspiration or that you're in a slump for ideas. Try reading something that has either inspired you in the past or could inspire your writing further. For example, if you're writing a murder mystery novel, try some Agatha Christie. Or if you've already read her stuff, try someone new. See if that helps to reignite and spark your creativity. Something else that could be a problem that you're dealing with is lack of feeling in the right mood for the scene that you're writing. Something that can be used to combat this and to cure this particular writer's block is to create a writing playlist of music that you feel will help set that mood. If it's a dark and dreary scene, give yourself some spooky ambiance. If it's a really intense fighting scene, do some intense upbeat fight songs. Things like that. A playlist can really actually help, just like it does in a movie, to give you kind of a backtrack and to help you kind of get in that groove, get in that funk. Get out of the funk and into the mood, I should say. Next thing that you might be struggling with is stress. Now, we all experience this, the bills are due, we had a bad family event recently, depression or anxiety are getting to us, all the craziness of life. Or if you're still in school, school's getting to you. Or maybe work has been absolutely terrible for you. It all really depends. But if you can try to eliminate some of those outside stressors, if you can, that can definitely help. Sometimes even just doing the dishes or making sure that your office where you write is clean, or getting out of the house so that way you don't have to deal with the stresses of being in the house can actually help. So come to the library, see if writing at the library helps, or go to a coffee shop. The reason that helps is because it can put you away from the stresses that you are dealing with currently. Another thing that people struggle with is feeling like everything has to be perfect or that they don't have enough time. This solves both problems. Set a timer. That way you know that if you don't have time, you're like, hey, I only have 10 minutes, just 10 minutes. But it also helps with setting a timer because of the fact that it means you have less of a pressure to be perfect because you're just trying to get as many words out as possible during that time. Don't focus on deleting, don't focus on them being good words, just bleh onto the page, as many words as possible. That can sometimes help you to get out of that funk if you're feeling like time or perfectionism is a problem. All right, the next problem that you might run into is that, again, you don't feel in the mood. For whatever reason, you've tried the writing playlist and it's not working. You've tried to, set up your office so it's less stressful, or gone somewhere where it's less stressful and it's not working. Try finding a food or drink that puts you in the mood. Are you a coffee person? Are you a herbal tea person? Are you a soda person? Those kinds of things can actually really help, and food can help too. Are you a Takis person? I know those are really good. Are you a fries and ketchup kind of person? Are you a chocolate kind of person? See if you can find a food or drink that helps put you in the right headspace to start writing. Or alternatively, use said food and drink as a reward. Say, hey, once I write 1,000 words, I get to go have a cup of coffee. Or once I write 1,000 words, I get to go have a pack of M&Ms. And that can help motivate you and move you forward. Another thing that you might want to consider is, as I said before, sometimes going somewhere else can help, because not only does it eliminate stressors, but it also gives us a change of scenery. If you feel like you're getting bored by where you are currently at, and you're not feeling inspired where you're currently at, a good way to fix this is a change of scenery. Making sure that you're at someplace new, trying something new. Heck, you could go up in the mountains if you have one of those computers that works without Wi-Fi and just plow it out on a mountaintop. Whatever helps you to feel the most inspired. Another thing that you might be struggling with is you don't know where your story's going next. And if you don't know where your story's going and you're a planner, this is a big, huge sticking point. Or alternatively, if you're not a planner, but you know, hey, this is point A, this is point B, but now how do I get from point A to point B? And you need a couple ideas, you're stuck at a certain spot. A great way to get through this is a brainstorming session. Just hammer it out. Maybe invite some friends even, who, if you have some writer friends. If you don't have some writer friends, feel free to come to our Writers Club meeting and give your brainstorming a shot. We'll be having it on the 28th from 8 to 9 p.m. So if you need some brainstorming session, that's another good place to do it. Sometimes bouncing off ideas with people really gets people going and gets people problem solving for their story and moving forward with their writing ultimately. Speaking of writing groups, another thing that can really help you if you're feeling stuck and unmotivated is to get feedback from a writing group. Now, sometimes people are like, oh, well, if I get feedback and it's bad, then I feel discouraged. Well, if you get feedback and it's constructive criticism and positive, that can actually be really good. I promise you that as the person writing in the writing group, we will always try to be a very constructive criticism focused writing group and not just say it's bad. We'll say, hey, maybe you could work on showing a little more. Hey, maybe you could give us more character depth. Sometimes getting feedback from a writing group can actually help to motivate you to want to write more and to try putting into practice all those various things that were talked about during that time. All right, next thing, if you really struggle with perfectionism, this is a great one. Do not give yourself permission to delete. Instead, allow yourself permission to write badly and completely ignore the delete button. Or alternatively, write with pen and paper, because if you get a non-erasable pen, who doesn't hate the feeling of scribbling something out, right? It makes it a lot harder. So as a result, it's easier to keep going. So I'd say pen and paper if you have perfectionism, or alternatively, refuse to delete anything and just accept writing badly. Take it as a challenge and just be like, okay, as long as the words are on the page, doesn't matter how bad this thing gets. In fact, let's just embrace it's written badly. Because perfectionism is the enemy of finishing your novel. You will never finish your novel if you're constantly rewriting and rewriting and rewriting and rewriting and rewriting. What you need to do is finish your novel and then work on the rewrites. All right, the next thing is to switch between projects. This sounds counterintuitive, but if you are struggling with inspiration, struggling to get going again, sometimes it's because you're getting too much in a rut of this project is boring. I feel like I'm just doing the same thing over and over again. Or alternatively, you're like, I don't know what to do because I've been doing the same thing so long. If you have 2 or 3 projects that you jump between, even though it seems slower overall, it actually will be faster because of the fact, sorry, something in my eye. It will actually end up being faster because of the fact that you are pushing through writer's block. If you just sat there and didn't write at all, that's going to be far less writing than if you jump between 2 or 3 projects every time you're stuck. And when I say 2 or 3, I mean like pick 2 or 3, don't keep adding on new ones. Be like, here's my 3 projects, and when I'm stuck on this project, I'll do this one, and then when I'm stuck on this one, I'll do this one, and then rotate. That can very much help get out of the funk of feeling like you have to do the same thing all the time. All right. Last piece of advice is sometimes it's about timing. Sometimes you're like, hey, I have an hour, maybe 3, to write during the afternoon, but you're not an afternoon writing person. There are multiple ways you can fix this. 1, force yourself to write during the afternoon and become an afternoon writing person. Or alternatively, write when works for you, even if it's only a couple minutes. If you're a night owl, write an hour before bed, or even 10 minutes before bed. If you're an early bird, write when you first get up. Again, if you only have 10 minutes, that's still 10 minutes worth of writing. You'd be surprised how much writing you can get done if you do 10 minutes a day. I would highly encourage you, if you have a time that you feel like works best for you, just set a timer, write for 10 minutes, and then be done. And you will find that you will write lots more than if you just wait till you have the time and inspiration. All right. So those are my tips for getting unstuck. Obviously, there's so much more than that. You can watch a TV show or movie that helps you get unstuck because it helps inspire you. You can try writing in a different genre. You can go outside and lie in a field. There's so many different ways to get rid of writer's block that there's no way I could possibly list them all. However, try, like I said, to diagnose what is going on. Whether it's stress, perfectionism, feeling bored, not sure what to do next, try figuring out which of those things it is, and then figure out, okay, since this is my problem, what is my solution? What helps you fix that? Once you know what the problem is, it's so much easier to get unblocked from writer's block. If you don't know what the problem is, then it's going to be infinitely harder to unblock that writer's block. But if you can identify it, you can get past it and conquer it. All right, this is the Adult Writers Club, and I hope you found this useful and have a great week.